Hello and welcome to another Doctor's System 1 video, and today I will be taking a look at issue 1 of 5, the 4th Doctor, issue 1, of course. This is the only one that I've got which is a variant cover, which is the Sheffield Film and Comic Con exclusive one, which was exclusive to 1000. By Jester Comics, which I'm guessing is like a local comic book shop, which is awesome of them to supply like a sort of, or do like a limited variant cover, which I absolutely adore, to be honest. I really do like this cover. I don't know, there's something about it that I really like. If you were wondering, the issue in the inside is absolutely the same as the one in the standard one, which is the one that I've also got here. So yeah, I think, to be honest, I don't know, I mean, to be honest, when I originally read this, I read it just before this review, so I actually knew what I was talking about, but when I first read this, to be honest, I completely forgot the War Doctor was in this one, in this issue, and to be honest, he is kind of there as a silhouette there, but in this one he's not even in this one. But to be honest, I would be fine with him not even being on the front cover of this one. Which cover do I prefer? I do prefer this one, to be honest. Maybe because it's got the limited edition thing and the film and Comic Con, or the film and comic con thing, and that reminds me of obviously an awesome event. So yeah, enough about that. I'll just flick that one aside. But yeah, as I say, I don't have any other variant covers for any of the other issues, and if I do, I will probably showcase some like I just did a minute ago with the other one, which is now on my bed. This was weekly, which I have never bought Comic Book Weekly. It was quite daunting, really, to say the least, because I thought it would be quite difficult to be doing that, and yeah, I managed to get all 5, which I'm really ecstatically happy about, because I've got that whole series under my belt, which is awesome. It's always it's a really gratifying feeling to have a whole series under your belt as a comic book collector in general, not only the sort of Doctor Who ones, but just any old one. You know, if I got like all 5 or 4, I think it was actually, of Deadpool versus Thanos, that would be cool as well. I have the first 2. So yeah, this has the barcode isn't in the TARDIS thing, which I've just noticed. It's by Paul Cornell and Neil Edwards. You've got part 1 of 5 done in this sort of very artistic way with the TARDIS there, which reminds me of this comic booky calendar that I've seen here, there and everywhere. It's got the 4 Doctors, so you've got David Tennant, Matt Smith, and Peter Capaldi. Can I just say, Matt Smith kind of is holding that Sonic like a lightsaber, which really is kind of stupid. But yeah, if you've never ever watched Doctor Who, this is probably the best introduction to Doctor Who ever. It's got a previous thing literally about the Doctor and his character. You've got one about specifically the 10th, the 11th, and the 12th Doctor. Then you've got their companions, or their respected companions for each. You know, you've got obviously their titles in big bold letters, and then a biography of sorts on all of them. And then you've got the way you can contact Titan Comics on their website, the Twitter, and the Facebook. So yeah, really, this is probably one of the best ways of being introduced to Doctor Who, ever, really, I can think of. Here you've got this really nice presented, here it's really nicely presented, the writer, the artist, the colorist, the letterist, the editor, and all the other stuff. So yeah, quite a lot goes into making a comic book, more than most people think. Really good panels at the beginning, and yeah, OMG, the War Doctor, oh my god, he's so amazing. Just my only gripe with all this exposure of the War Doctor, with the new War Doctor box set coming out, and this, and Engines of War and stuff like that, it's just, it gets a bit much to categorize it all in your head. Is all I'll say. But no, there is some great bits in this, and also for this issue you got, which panel is it now? Just trying to think. You got the no, you got this panel as a art card, as just like this like art card, which is just black and white. I have it. I just have it on my wall, and I will not be getting it down for this review, unfortunately. But yeah, it's like this art card. It's just black and white, and it's really cool. It looks amazing. The best way I would describe the dynamic between the three Doctors in this issue is probably very much like brothers, in the sense that David Tennant's 10th Doctor is the youngest brother, Matt Smith's the sort of just in-between child, the middle child, and Capaldi's like the oldest and the sort of more wise one. So those two very much have, obviously, arguments, as they would do. And I quite like how it embodies the fandom as well. You know, you've got people who absolutely adore Peter Capaldi because he's a lot more, harkens back to that classic Who feel and stuff, whereas you've got those sort of fanboys who like Peter Capaldi, you know, so much because he embodies that sort of classic Doctor Who, whereas you've got those fanboys and that who just like David Tennant and that because he's a pretty face or whatever, or well, fangirls, but you know what I mean, and stuff. But I just love how Paul Cornell is so self-aware in the fact that he writes it deliberately like that. Like, there's a fan war between the 10th and 12th Doctor, and I just love how he does it really well, in the fact that it doesn't get on my nerves, you know, like in the way that if Stephen Moffat did it in the TV show, it would just feel very much like cheesy and really sort of horrible and annoying for both sides, you know, whereas this is just done as sort of fun, and it's done lightheartedness, and that, you know, there's a bit where, 10 says, you know, you're an abomination, and so then, you know, 12 is like, oh, nice, a Dalek word. You know, he doesn't, like, blow his fuse, which, you know, if it was someone else, like the Master or something like that, he would probably be prone to blowing a fuse. And I absolutely adore here, I only noticed this a second time reading, but he's got, you know, his hands, like, in that pose, in that sort of William Hartnell pose. And again, I just feel like 11 is just this middle child, and basically all the companions are just like a friend to all the three brothers and stuff, because, yeah, they're just bickering at each other's throats. The cliffhanger is very good as well. On the back, you've got a advert for Fate of Krelos, which is a Fourth Doctor adventure thing. You've got adverts for the other things, graphic novels, and the next issue, which I do have, but as I say, I haven't read it yet. All the other comics in that in the series of stuff. I will not show you the cliffhanger because that would be bad, ruin the issue. I do like how, as well, when Clara sort of goes and tells the 10th and 11th Doctor companions that about why she's there and stuff. I do like this bit, you know, like, I was just thinking whilst reading it, I just love how she's in this sort of jungle-like outfit. It's very simplistic, but it's very effective, and I feel like in the new series we don't get that enough, you know, where, yeah, I don't know, like, you're on a space station, but you don't have, like, a spacesuit or something, or, you know, you're I don't know, in the desert, but you're still in just normal, you know, ordinary clothes. Why not actually dress like the people would do there as well, you know, and stuff. I think it just, I don't know, I just like it because, again, it's just like it gives more depth to a wardrobe. And I like the sort of dynamic between all the companions as well, you know. At first they're all like, yeah, we don't believe you, you're just mad, what are you on about, the world, oh, the universe is going to end, and that. And but obviously Clara makes a case and stuff, and she doesn't feel as annoying as she sometimes does in the TV series, which will probably get me loads of dislikes on this video. But, you know, I just feel like, you know, all the companions are well written, and all of the Doctors are well written, even though they're sort of arguing with each other. It's still, the way it's conveyed, or the way I, you know, sort of interpreted it, was in a way where it's sort of just sort of still in a very jokey, sort of fun sort of way, you know, and it's all just playful, even though, you know, at first, I'll be honest, I did read the whole, you know, 10th Doctor saying to the 12th Doctor, "You're an abomination." I was like, oh wow, that's a bit much, don't you think? But then, you know, just the reaction from 12, you know, it's just like, as I said before, you know, just like, he doesn't blow a fuse. He's not like, "What did you call me? You know, you dare, you know, you starting," sort of thing, or something. He just sort of says, "Oh, nice, a Dalek word." You know, like, you could stoop that low, really, you know. And again, I think that just reinforces that whole sort of idea in my brain that he's sort of like the oldest brother, because again, even though his youngest brother of sorts has said, you know, something really mean to him, and that's really cut him up inside, he's sort of still keeping it cool. And again, Eleven's just there like, but guys, we need to be, you know, we need to be united, and they're both there too busy bickering and being horrible to each other. But yeah, I think it's a fantastic issue with a lot of good content and a good ending, and it builds. It has a really good pace to it. It doesn't open that well, I don't think, with the War Doctor. I think that felt a bit out of place, and maybe it would have been better later on in the series. But then again, I haven't read the other issues, so maybe it was the only place that Paul Cornell felt like he could put that sort of bit in. And it just felt very odd that, yeah, it opens up with the War Doctor and then it goes straight into the other Doctors. And I don't know if the stuff at the beginning is even sort of linked to anything later on. I mean, don't get me wrong, I would love like a postcardy sort of art card of that scene. You know, I love some of the early, you know, panels and stuff. Don't get me wrong, the art is superb in this. But yeah, I would highly recommend you get the Four Doctors if you find it in your travels. Thanks for watching. Comment, rate and subscribe, and please do leave a comment and say what your opinion is of this issue, because I do read the comments and I would love to have a discussion with you. Bye.